So hello everyone, it's your boy Pray. The most people of you guys know me because of doing a lot of music. So today I just thought about like making a little get to know me video, about Pray video. So I would like to talk about with you about myself because a lot of people think that they do know about what I have done before. So yeah, actually, like that you're gonna get to know a little bit more closer look, like in the real side of me, because I think the best thing is like if you just give people a smart view of your life and how you think and how you are actually, so that they can see like, oh, okay, I can match up with this or match up with this. So yeah, communication and connections can flow better. So actually, I just got adopted into a German English family. So my father is a head teacher and a teacher, yeah, and my mom is a doctor. So they just got adopted me from an orphanage of Mother Teresa when I was 4 years, and I just came over to Germany and started pretty early with making music, like playing a lot of instruments, like moving into a gospel choir from the church and stuff. And this is where actually the music started. So over the years, I just got even like I just searched for the support in the church from a very great pianist and yeah, church musician who been a church musician and been studying and was a professional music teacher, like a docent, and did really a long time of studying, like between 8 or 10 years. Like he's a really professional music guy, been on Broadway in New York and everywhere, and yeah, so he was in our church, so I started learning a lot of instruments by this guy. Then afterwards I went over to go to a local music school, which was pretty good, to get some guitar lessons and stuff like that. So, and with the beginning of 4 or 5 years I started singing in the choir, and later on even like having a solo voice in the choir. And yeah, then I just moved on with music. Like I've listened through my parents because they've been a little bit older when they adopted me. They shared with me music from the 60s over to the 70s, 80s, 90s. And I started researching all these things. You know, I was like in that time, like in the 90s, where almost the mids and the ends of the 90s, where like the internet was coming up a little bit more. People started learning by at home for school, for example, or just like checked out internet and everything. So I had so many questions about life and in general that not all of these questions can, like my parents could not really answer those questions perfectly. So I started really looking up for my answers, and there were actually a lot of questions that I had. So I'm pretty happy during the time, you know, during growing up, seeing how school is, you know, and in some cases school is not always so nice, you know, like you were coming together with people from different kinds of vibes, from roots, and yeah, I mean, my parents are very conservative ones, ones who really believe in a conservative style of living, like, you know, you need to study very well and do everything for the family, and you know, like having those old kind of values, which are very important nowadays too, because we see that a lot of young children and young people getting kids, and so it is even more important that we have a good foundation and that we actually know how we treat each other, how we are reacting to a kind of situation, and that we understand where are our good deeds and where are the deeds that we need to work on, and that we even like reflecting ourselves very well to become perfectly and more better. So yeah, so I was always somebody who is like not just a musician. I had a very academic background too, and me and myself, I gotta say, like I was always interested in all these things on my own. Like, you know, I was like after my graduation, I was like, okay, making the A-levels, what to do next. Like, there are so many things that I'm actually interested in. So, you know, I'm based in Germany, like actually in West Germany, and I was thinking like, okay, I have a so big passion for music, for art, for talking out what is important to know. And I felt myself always like I'm not like put it into one direction. I was always interested into a lot of fields and a lot of important fields. So I was like thinking about like, okay, I mean, you have all these topics in school, like what you learn, like of course languages, math, science, biology, religion, what was even very important in my life, psychology, all these other things, philosophy, which is pretty nice. And I had a lot of fields that are where human society, or what human society is involved to. So I was literally thinking like, okay, I mean, I think that I'm a great musician. I know how to play a lot of instruments. I started with an early age. I started to sing professionally. I know that I can do the thing, but how to manifest your kind of dream even in a system like that, where you first need to study a long time and stuff like that. But all I want to tell you is, like, don't give up, because it is worth it, that you're going to get to know, and that you just try to ask more and more questions, even if it's a little bit struggling in a time, or you like, you know, like I can always say, like, look at people like Eminem or other people who don't even have any kind of financial abilities to make it, but they still were making it. So what I want to say is, like, we humans are so genius that we are about to make everything happen. You know what I mean? Like, if we have a goal to do something, and we have a consciousness and a mindset which is not always in stress and in stressy situations, sometimes we need even to struggle and to stress to understand what is important. Like, okay, financial income, okay, to have knowledge is important, okay, that you can move on, that you can go to university and go first in your direction. But what I want to say is, like, a lot of people, they feel very somehow, how to say, they feel very proud of themselves because they just finished a bachelor or something like that. But life is like so much more. You know, you're just like studying in one way, but you know, you need to know like what kind of intelligence you want to take. You know what I mean? Like, do you want to start with a low intelligence, like with a basic information, or do you directly see like, okay, that way is going up to, okay, it's not like technique and engineering, it's like, okay, understanding networks. It's about like, how does the government and the world using the networks, and how is it possible, and what are the most important things and fields. And I was making a lot of thoughts about it. So yeah, so this is why I want to talk about all of this. And I said, like, wow, I mean, there are so many interesting topics, and I'm so interested in all of that, and even in the communication when I just put those themes and those topics out there. And I hope that you guys can refer to those kind of topics, even spirituality, meditation, for what it is good to pray and all these things. You know what I mean? Like, from where do you get your power from? Like, what kind of energy are you doing? And all in all, I believe that it is great to have a talent, but it's even more worth it if you work on your talent. And if you're not just working on your talent, if you even want to succeed in a very high level, but, you know, like, the dreams and the beliefs are worth it when your beliefs are good. Yeah, and, you know, when the intentions are the right ones. Because some people just want to be rappers and want to be musicians because they think, like, then I'm just different and then I can, like, have a name. But it's not like that. You know what I mean? Like, you really have to understand, okay, I want to make music because I understood music, because I feel everything in music, and not like, yeah, I want to feel myself into the music, like, or I didn't know how to handle my psychology problems, so I just wrote it down into lyrics. I mean, it's beautiful when music can do that for you, but then it's like a therapy for you. That's like therapeutic. I mean, I can remember that Drake or some other stars had these things where they talk about, like, wow, I just could, like, with that kind of music, with this kind of hobbies that I actually literally wanted to do in life, for this kind of passion that I did, I could, like, realize myself into it. And I mean, this is pretty beautiful, but you have to see it always from the biggest level of intelligence, of consciousness, like, You got to think about like, okay, what should music do? What should music stand for? What should we stand for? What is it important to people remind? How we can make social music, how we can heal with music, how we can, and this is not only possible with music, it's even possible by talking about things. I think it's important that we talk about things like journalists do. They do it always in a way of, oh yeah, brand new news, like listen to that. People are looking like, what can they criticize on you or not? But you know, you need to stay strong. You need to know what you think about, because you made great researches, because you know what to say and what to talk and how to think in the right manner that people might possibly understand you, because this is all what it is all about. You know, it's all about understanding. So, and the thing is, there is an issue that the world wants to make you understand that things go like that. But it's always even important that you're going to look deeper and that you're going to read the things on your own. If you want to know about rights and about laws, look down the governmental constitution. Look down how the right system works, how the law system works, how psychology works, how brain function works, how do medicine work, how does our body work, how does all these things work, and how I can make the right decisions in my life and to move in the right way. I know it is always work, but the work is worth it. You know what I mean? Like, I did my A-levels, but I needed a better degree, so I just made a social year to get a better degree so that I can take a stipendiumship to move over even into another country to study music management, for example. Or, you know, like, there is always a way if you're really living for something, you know, even if you didn't prove it directly in school, because maybe, you know, in school people were in a different time, they had different challenges to manage, you know what I mean? Like, they've been first, like, yeah, and everything has to do with your own character. Are you strong enough to resist in a group and to make a group understand your meaning, and when people are trying to attack you, that you know how to handle this kind of attackings, if you are ready to work with that, but in a peaceful way. A lot of people get, and that psychology, like, if people say something negative to them, they're just gonna get negative and angry about you and stuff like that. But you need to understand, you can even, like, try to analyze people in a way like, why do they do that? How do they do that? What brings them to do that with you? And what is their kind of history? And why do they treat people like that? Because they treat it like that, or they get treated like that too. And this is all kind of life experience that you actually need in life to just grow and to develop. Yeah.